Good afternoon, Mr. Abhinav.
Good afternoon, sir.
So you are Abhinav Sharma.
Yes, sir.
What is Abhinav?
Sorry, sir.
What is the meaning of Abhinav?
Sir, the meaning of my name is innovation or freshness.
Or new?
Yes, sir. New, innovative, fresh.
Okay. Please tell us something about yourself other than that you are innovative.
Sure, sir. Sir, as already being mentioned, my name is Abhinav Sharma. I hail from Bareilly, Uttar Pradesh, and I completed my graduation from IIT Patna in civil engineering in 2020. And right now, I have been inducted in Indian Postal Service via CSE 2023. And my father is in UP Police, and my mother is a homemaker.
Okay. So very interesting. So you have interest in the Hindi story writing.
Yes, sir.
So what is the best story you have written?
The best story maybe for which I got the award also. So that story was about how uh, climate and in general environment around us directly meddles into our daily lives. So it was regarding that, and the theme was प्रकृति के सामने संघर्ष करता मनुष्य.
So what is the message coming out from your story?
So basically
What is the
focused
message,
on. Sorry, sir.
what is the message to the mankind from that?
Sure, sir. Sir, so my story was focusing on two aspects. First was the micro relation, where the main focus was on the protagonist and his father's relation, and it was showed that how, based on his conventional socialization, he was not very much expressive with his father, and later in his life, when it was too late, then he realized his mistake. So that is one aspect where it shows that we always need to value our time, and whenever we are with our close one, we need to be more expressive about them. And the second aspect was the macro aspect in general, how environment around us directly can have a very strong impact on our daily lives. So we need to protect that relation as well.
Okay. So you're in the postal services.
Yes, sir.
So in our times, we used to have that postcard, Indian letter, envelopes.
Yes,
Now
sir.
I have not seen this for decades. So what is the postal service doing now?
Sir, as you rightly mentioned, the traditional mail services have seen somewhat a dip with the emergence of the new forms of communication, particularly new media, emails, and all. But now, postal service is still very relevant, and it is focusing on two areas. First would be the core services it is providing, and in here it is focusing on the mail and parcel services, primarily the logistics areas, and it is revolutionizing it with new modernization technologies. And the second area is evolving area where postal services is venturing into. Like first is the financial services with the upcoming of Indian Postal Payment Bank and Post Office Saving Bank. Then it is also providing PLIs, that is Postal Life Insurance. Then apart from financial services, it is also providing retail services, directly collaborating with the government departments to provide various services like Aadhaar enrollment, pension, and Manrega, DBT dispersal. And sir, apart from that, I think these are the main areas right now in which postal service is focusing on.
Okay. So are you corporatizing yourself? Because some of these services you have to compete with the private sector, and if you continue as a government department, then
Yes.
people may not be happy. So any element of corporate culture coming in the postal department?
Sir, as you rightly mentioned, that right now postal service has to compete as well as collaborate both with the private operators. And so there are being structural and functional changes which are inducted into the department. The latest and the most prominent one, which I can recall right now, is the IT Modernization Project 2.0. So after the successful IT Modernization Project 1.0, so now postal services, in order to compete better with the whole ecosystem integration, provide product innovation, which private services are providing. So postal service has ventured into IT Modernization 2.0.
Okay. So you are also a civil engineer.
Yes, sir.
Now tell me the infrastructure which is
Yes, sir.
developed in India, and particularly the road network and bridges, etc., coming up flyovers. So, is it the the development model which we are following for infrastructure, is it okay or we need something different?
Sir, obviously there is always a scope for improvement. And I believe that right now, the current phase in which we are already in a very evolving and transformative phase. The practices which till now we were continuing, so we are following with that along with certain modifications and also added new. For example, the Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana has been in practice for very long. But now government considering the environmental commitment goals also, so government has incorporated green roads as well, use of plastic roads, as well as the new technologies like cold asphalt technology. Then apart from that, new projects, for example, PM Gati Shakti is a very monumental step in this entire infrastructure regime. Uh, because of the most important reason for that is the synchronization which it provides in the entire infrastructure region will definitely give a new boost to our whole infrastructure. And right now we are also focusing on the whole holistic view of infrastructure. Like we are focusing on physical infrastructure, digital infrastructure, social infrastructure, and most importantly, the energy part as well. So this is my view of
Tell me, the railway lines which we have in India throughout,
this.
are these capable? Like we are also talking of trains, bullet trains, and very high speed trains.
Yes,
Are
sir.
the existing railway lines capable enough of carrying trains with that speed, or we need to do something different?
So, sir, there are two aspects to this. First is the technical aspect, and then second is the practical aspect. So, technically speaking, there have been certain comments made even in the parliament also that the India soil quality may not be very apt for these high-speed trains. But also at the same time, for example, London School of Economics conducted a holistic study for the upcoming bullet train project in the Gujarat and in the Maharashtra region, and it found that the soil quality and the rail quality is sufficient. But at the same time, as you are talking about the existing infrastructure, so I believe that existing infrastructure in its current form may not be very viable for direct transitioning to the high speed trains. We need separate train lines for that, for example, as we are doing in this the bullet train project in Gujarat and Maharashtra. At the same time, what we can do is we need to transform our current rail lines to the semi high speed trains, which can be easily done, for example, as we are already doing in Vande Bharat. So this is which we are doing.
Okay. And what is Bareilly famous for?
So Bareilly is famous for a lot of things, but the most important connection which it is has for with the Bollywood industry. For example, the various famous songs like Jhumka Gira Re in Bareilly Ki Bazaar Mein, and then various movies also around the same title. So that is one important aspect. Other than that, the demography, the people which Bareilly has provided, even in 1857 revolt, in the current era, various famous Bollywood actors and other literature giants, for example, Wasim Bareilly. And apart from that, the tourism potential it has, the history and archaeological culture which it has, is also a reason for its famous.
What is the difference between smuggling and trafficking?
Sorry, sir.
What is the difference between trafficking and smuggling?
Sir, I have limited information on this. If you would allow, then based on my information, I can answer this.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Sir, I think when we are talking of trafficking, though both of these are organized crimes, but when we are talking of trafficking, it is primarily related to human trafficking. But when we are talking of smuggling, it involves cross-border flow, illegal flow of elements other than humans as well. For example, drugs or arms and ammunitions. So this can also come into smuggling.
That can be trafficked also. Drug trafficking, I might have heard.
Yes, sir. So I think I need to read more on this. Sorry, sir.
So just you can, if you read, you can read clearly. One is human trafficking, and
Yes,
second
sir.
is the term uses smuggling of migrants. What you were
Yes, sir.
coming very close to that. So
Okay.
these are the two standard terms. You can read it.
Sure, sir.
And between law and policy,
Yes,
which is
sir.
superior?
Which is supreme, sir?
Yeah.
Sir, I
between these
think,
two.
yes, sir.
Or you let me say constitution, law, and policy. If you have to see the hierarchy, where will you put these three? These three.
So it will be very difficult to arrange them in an hierarchical fashion because they are very symbiotic in relation. The laws are followed. For example, the law in its from its origin to its implementation to its monitoring. For all these, we require special policies. At the same time, in order to enforce the policies, we require strong enforcement of law. So I think both of them are very much symbiotic in relation, and we cannot put them in any hierarchy as such.
Yeah, see here you just for your information
Yes, sir.
that the very clear hierarchy.
Okay.
Constitution is at the top, then comes the law, then comes the policy. Laws
I'm
cannot violate the constitution.
okay.
Policies cannot violate the law or the constitution.
Okay. I'm really sorry, sir. I guess there was some miscommunication. I heard constitutional law and constitutional policy. So I was not, but it's my mistake. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Abhinav,
Yes, sir.
uh, you had your education in Patna,
Yes, sir.
and I think the Ganges River is just behind your college.
Yes, sir. It was nearby.
So how was it? I mean, did you all go swimming in Ganges or something?
No, sir, because we didn't know how to swim. So we never went there. But whenever we used to transit in the area, so there used to be the Ganges used to be there.
Okay. Was there any change of course of river? I mean, few years back.
Sir, in that region,
Yeah, of the Ganges River, did it change its course? I mean, few years back it had changed its course, is it?
sir, I think that in general, Ganga is very famous for changing its course periodically, but I am not aware of any particular instance if you are talking about. So I think I need to read more on this.
Okay. You know any song? I mean, written on the on this river?
On Ganga,
Yes.
can I take few seconds to remember
Yes,
anything?
sure.
So there was one song, हम उस देश के वासी हैं जिस देश में गंगा बहती है.
Okay.
Uh,
Any song related to Chhat festival? Because you must have witnessed Chhat festival there.
yes, sir. Sir, I heard few songs, but I'm not able to completely recall them because I didn't understood them completely.
Okay. Your college building, is it old or new?
Sir, it was very new only because it was constructed in 2015. Matlab it started its construction in 2008 and it completed in 2015 around. So it is primarily very new.
But wasn't that the Patna Engineering College was converted into IIT? Is it?
No, sir. When it was earlier, since IIT Patna was established in 2008, so from 2008 to 2014, since the permanent campus was not built there, so that was the time which you are referring to. That there was a temporary institution which was converted to IIT Patna. But from 2015, the college got transferred to its permanent campus, and there was the completely new infrastructure.
The campus is there itself, or it is at some new place?
Sir, 40 kilometers in the outskirts of Patna, there is a place called Bhita. So there is around 500 acres of campus of IIT Patna.
Okay, so you all had your education in Beta as such.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So this new building,
Yes, sir.
what kind of architecture it has?
Sir, there were different kind of buildings. Uh, the most prominent building, which was a central building, so its architectural elements include, first of all, it was a truss building. In center, there was a very big truss. Then the design was very symmetrical. Then Victorian style of architecture was also utilized. In fact, the famous place there, it was known as Senate House. So it was based on the architecture which is used in the United States. So Victorian style of architecture is one thing, and sir, these are the only architecture elements which I can recall.
Okay, fine. And so in your email address, you have written 3706. What does it mean?
Sir, earlier my mother used to have a mobile number, so these were her last four digits. So I used that during the creation of email ID.
Could have been anything else.
No, sir, it was only that.
Okay. You talked about the railways.
Yes, sir.
So when railway lines,
Yes, sir.
we see big stones, that big aggregates which are around the railway lines. Why those big aggregates are placed there?
Sir, I didn't get your question. Can you please repeat?
When you see the railway lines,
Yes, sir.
there are big aggregates.
Yes, sir.
You understand big
Yes, sir.
aggregates.
Yes, sir.
So those are placed around the railway line.
Yes, sir.
What is the reason?
So some of the reasons which I can recall, so these are known as ballastic tracks, and the reasons which it is kept at. First is it provides stability to the overall sleepers which are placed there. Then secondly, it provides better drainage, and thirdly, it provides the load transfer to the subgrade. It helps in that also, and lastly, it provides flexibility in the overall train in the lines. So these are the four reasons.
Okay, good. You have heard about ODOP?
Yes, sir.
What is ODOP of Patna?
So it is Sujini embroidery. It is called.
Have you seen it?
Sir, I have not seen it. I have studied something about it, so I have not seen it as such.
What do you know about it?
Sir, these are primarily quilts which are made from earlier used clothes, and it is primarily done by women. So this is a very traditional textile style which is used in Bihar for very long. And so therefore now it is the earlier it was restricted to the primarily used clothes only, but now even the new clothes are also used for these quilt styles, and these are done at a mass level and not only confined to women only. So this is I have read.
Is there any product in Patna which has got GI code or GI tag?
Sir, Maghai Pan in Patna, and since Patna lie in the Maghai region, so Maghai Pan is one specific thing from Patna which I can recall. Right. Other than that, I'm not specific. I'm not aware about specific product from Patna. In general, some products from Bihar I'm aware of. For example, the lychee of Bihar and Shahi lychee. And apart from Maghai Pan, there are few factors also, but not specific from Patna.
Also makhanas.
Yes, sir. Makhanas. In fact, Bihar produces almost 85% of the total nation's makhanas. So fox nuts are also very important.
Have you seen how it is grown?
No, sir.
Makhanas are grown.
No, sir. I haven't seen it.
Okay. Now, in very short, you tell me what is the past of postal service, what is its present, and what is going to be its future.
Sure, sir. So the postal service was it was a pre-colonial time. It started in a very organized form. Started by Sher Shah Suri, then carried on with Muhammad bin Tughlaq. Then during the colonial time, in 1727, the first post office was constructed in Kolkata, and then with Lord Dalhousie, he's known as the father of Indian postal service. So he formalized and institutionalized it. And in 1854, the postal service department was formed. And in the current form, as I earlier also mentioned, that it is working on two fronts: the core services like the parcel areas and the letter areas, and in the evolving areas, the financial services, the business development products, the international services which it provides, and various retail services, and collaborating with government departments. And talking of the future, so it is working on two fronts: the structure fronts and the function fronts. On structure, land monetization is one thing which it is doing. Then second is the infrastructure modernization, fleet modernization, collaborating with the private and private players, also with the government players. And on the functional aspect, overall operational efficiencies are being imparted for this integration with AI technologies, one supreme thing which is being done. And the training aspect of the overall human resources is also a very important thing on which right now the focus is on there. And overall, to provide a digital edge to the whole postal department, apart from IT modernization project, core banking solution has already been integrated, and in-house softwares are also being developed. So these are the areas I am aware of.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Abhinav.
Good afternoon, sir.
Abhinav, as going through your draft, you wrote something about street play.
Yes, sir.
There were times when street play was considered to be one very good medium of
Yes, sir.
communicating with the masses, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's its place has been taken over by social media. Now, what can be done to bring back the street place and its significance in the social order?
Sure, sir. Sir, I think we need to work on few fronts. First would be the institutionalization. For example, earlier Ministry of Information and Broadcasting has a separate cell which used to look after for conducting street plays in order to raise awareness. But now government has closed it. So I think we need to reopen this with providing a new vigor. So institutionalization is one thing. In institutionalization, we also need to ensure that more and more theaters and awards, institutions, these need to be built upon. The second thing is the art form itself. The art form needs to evolve. Like as you rightly mentioned, earlier street plays were the primary source of awareness. But now, since social media and other like OTT platforms has now also being in the same realm, so now the focus should not only be on the awareness generation, but also on providing specific solutions which can be adopted at micro and macro level. For example, talking from my own experience, so when we used to perform in Patna in general, so we used to specifically focus on the solution aspect so that people can actually learn from it because they are already aware of it. Then talking in the same art forms, now we also need to integrate with the technology. For example, already during the COVID time, certain street plays were broadcasted online. And the last thing in the art form we need to ensure is the choice of topics, because the top due to the large scale awareness, the old topics have become very redundant. So now new topics, for example, like in our college days, we use one of the street play which we did in Patna. It was around cyber security. So these kind of new topics which we need to inculcate. And the last front on which we can work on is internationalization, because street play is a global art form, so we need to internationalize it further.
You heard about Maoism.
Yes, sir.
Maoists even today continue to use street play
Yes, sir.
in spreading their ideology or fault finding in the existing system.
Yes, sir.
How you can address this issue?
So, firstly, uh, for tackling such an issue, there are two fronts on which we need to work upon. First is this law and order in general administration part, and second is this ideological part. So, talking of the law and order part, so Maoist ideology are being propagated because there is Maoism. So, we in the law and order aspect, we need to ensure that we are able to come with a very heavy hand with such kind of activities which are taking place in any area. And then second aspect, which talking specifically of how Maoism is using street play as a medium. So for this, what we can do is we can spread counter ideologies by collaborating with NGOs, collaborating with the local people, and talking from the district administration point of view. For example, recently our honorable Prime Minister also in the DGP conference suggested that we should use street plays and sports marathon as a medium by the administration itself to popularize our awareness, our messages directly to the people. So we can spread such kind of counter ideologies directly from the administration side as well. So I think these two fronts can done.
Can you tell me what is the organizational structure of the Maoists?
Sir, I have read something about it, but right now I'm not able to recall it completely.
No worry, you are from the postal service, right?
Yes, sir.
When sir asked you the past, present, and future of the postal service,
Yes, sir.
you did not make any mention of the army postal service.
Sorry, sir. It was my bad, sir. I should have incorporated that in my answer also.
Can you tell something about APS?
Sure, sir. Sir, so under the Ministry of Postal, under the Ministry of Communication, under the Director General of Postal Service, under the Secretary. So there are seven different seven different horizontal heads, in which there is a separate head which deals with the Department of Army Postal Services, and in this the group people from the Postal Service Department, from Group A, Group B, and from other personnel also, they can go via deputation, and it primarily caters to the communication and the postal services with the army areas. And I'm not able to exactly recall, but I think from 2017 the rules have somewhat changed, and now the circles or the regions have somewhat reduced. But I think I need to read more on this. So my knowledge is right now specific to this.
One CBPO you heard?
Sorry, sir.
One CBPO. You
Uh,
know what is a CBPO?
no, sir, I'm not able to understand this term.
Okay, fine, no worries.
Thank you, sir.
When we talk about border security,
Yes, sir.
we use a term called border management.
Yes, sir.
In fact, if you see the syllabus, the first chapter is on border management only, internal security.
Yes, sir.
Why we use the term management? It is an economic term. Why are we using a kind of a administrative term or an economic term in a security related? Why are we not using the term border security or border preparedness or border defense? Why are we using the term management?
Sir, very humbly, I would like to differ you from one point that management is strictly an economic term. But I believe that management is a very broad term, and everyone from cradle to grave in their entire life in every specific area, we are managing something or other. Management in general, it refers to achieving a certain goal within a certain timeline with certain resources. So it can be applied anywhere and in on anything. So similarly, in border areas as well, we have certain challenges at hand, we have certain resources at hand, we have a goal. So we have to manage all these things collectively. So that's why we are using border management. For example, in Indian case specifically, there are four goals on which we are doing at the border areas. First is the infrastructure building, then second is the guarding, then third is the regulation, and fourth is the disputes. Fourth is in general bilateral negotiations. So these four areas need to be coordinated simultaneously. That's why we are using border management.
Okay, okay, good.
Thank you, sir.
Being authentic or being diplomatic? What's your choice?
So it will depend on the context, on which position I am, on which role I am. For example, when we talk of being diplomatic, generally speaking in our daily parlance, being diplomatic is seen in a very negative fashion. It comes with a very negative connotation. It refers that some person is trying to beat around the bush. So in such connotation in daily life, it will be much more better if a person is being authentic. But at the same time, if we see the larger picture, being diplomatic does not always mean hiding something or beating around the bush. It just refers that it is a creative art by which we are able to ensure meeting our goal while making sure that the minimum damage is done. For example, our Indian Foreign Service officers, so they are perfect in this art. So I guess it depends on the role in which I am. Then I can make the choice.
Say, for example, your superior is highly corrupt,
Yes, sir.
at the same time highly influential. Will you become an authentic person and do some whistleblowing, or will you stay away out of it and try to be diplomatic because it is not affecting me personally? You have some authentic information with you, a credible information that can establish very clearly that he is a corrupt person. What would be your course of action?
Sir, the two options which you gave, I will be choosing none. Very humbly, I am really very sorry. So I would like to create my own set of options because there are three things to look at in the case which you mentioned. The first is the ethical angle. So definitely, staying quiet cannot be choice in any case. Then second is legal angle. Being in an constitutional position, if someone is misusing their power, there is a sheer break of law. So, for example, the Prevention of Corruption Act here. So here also, staying quiet definitely is not the answer. Then third is a practical option. So whistleblowing directly is definitely not at all in the favor of either in the department or in the act also. So what I will try to do is, first of all, I will make sure that I have all the evidences at my hand and they are credible, their authenticity is double checked. Then I will try to firstly talk to my senior directly because he is higher than me. He's more knowledgeable. Then he might be able to understand my personal what I'm trying to convey. But if it is not able to provide the desired result, then I will try to approach the internal grievance redressal cells which are in every department. So I will give all my information which I have gathered directly to him. And if there is no response from that side also, then I will try to approach to the other institutions within the department. For example, vigilance cell is there, and by the last choice, I can also resort to judiciary. But whistleblowing is not the right option, I think, in this case.
You heard about the expansion in BRICS recently?
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me how it will pose a challenge to India with the coming of new members, and which are those members because of who's joining the BRICS? India will have some challenge to face.
Sure, sir. So, firstly, the members which have now added, so they are Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Ethiopia, and Uganda. Argentina was also there, but it has refused to join yet. So right now, these are the countries which have joined. So regarding the challenges, so there are multiple challenges in front of India and BRICS in general. First is the internal complications of the BRICS will increase furthermore because the players like Iran and Saudi Arabia, which are already at tussle, so when they will come in the structure, so the consensus building will be more difficult. Then second would be the human most of these players, they already have certain allegations of being anti-democratic or human right violations. For example, Egypt is also famous for such kind of massacre, infamous for such kind of massacre. So this will overall can decrease the credibility of the entire organization as such. Then third is the anti-West narrative, which is also being leased to the BRICS, can now be further strengthened. For example, recently, as we see, the Donald Trump has also clearly straight away said that any kind of de-dollarization by BRICS, he will impose 100% tariffs. So I think these are the challenges which can be in front of India and BRICS.
You heard about AFSPA?
Yes, sir.
Within AFSPA, you heard about a disturbed area?
Yes, sir.
Who all can declare a disturbed area?
Sir, as far as I can remember, under Section 3, governor, uh, then uh, governor, and from union, it is either president or prime minister. I'm not able to recall, or it is home minister. I think I need to read more on this. And I thought that I am able to recall it, but I'm not able to recall it right now.
Recently, you heard Supreme Court brought some changes in classifying an area as a disturbed area. Are you aware? What guidelines it has brought?
Sir, I am aware about the Naga people versus Union of Human Rights movement. So that's what I am aware of. Is there any other case? So I think I need to read more on it.
The Armed Forces Special Powers Act. What is special? Why did they not write Armed Forces some deployment act or something? Why did they name the act Special Powers Act? What is the special power given to the armed forces?
So some of the special powers under the Act are, first of all, power to arrest without warrant. They can search without warrant, and if there is any construction in which they think that any person is hiding, then they can directly dismantle the structure altogether. And they are also given immunity from all these actions. So these are the special power of which I am aware of.
So the immunity has been revoked.
Sir,
2006.
yes, sir. As far as I can recall, Supreme Court said that now there will be no blanket immunity, but under the Act, under Section 6 or 7, I'm not able to exactly recall. So there was certain kind of immunity which was given. So I know only about this, sir.
Can you name the case, very famous case, where in which the Supreme Court said that accountability is the facet of rule of law, and it removed this absolute immunity which the armed forces enjoyed before? Can you name the case law?
Sir, was it the case of 2016?
Yes.
Um, Sir, I'm not able to recall the name.
Any two committees that have made observation on AFSPA, can you name them?
Sir, one was BP Jeevan Reddy Committee, then other was Hegde Committee.
Santosh Hegde. What were the
Yes, sir.
findings of these committees?
Sir, Hegde Committee, what I have read in the context of, it primarily focused on the human rights violation which was being done in this due to these AFSPA. In BP Jeevan Reddy Committee, sorry, sir.
Where?
Sir,
Which
in
state?
the area, sir, I'm not exactly able to recall which state, but I think it was in northeastern states, some northeastern states. In the BPG1 Reddy committee, it took a more holistic view and it suggested to dismantle the law altogether and rather integrate some sections in a new act which should be called as National Security Bill. This is I am aware. This is what I'm. Sorry, sir.
Under the UAP.
So sorry, sir. Thank you for correcting me.
Achha, I see a plastic bottle behind you, small Bisleri bottle.
Yes, sir.
Can you tell me how do we identify whether a plastic bottle can be reused? Is there any symbol, any number, anything written on the bottle that says, okay, this can be reused, how many number of times or something?
Sir, based on my personal experiences, but I have seen that in most of such plastic bottle, there is a sign in yellow color of a triangle which signifies the recycling, and in between there is a number written. So if I am not wrong, that number might signify that how many times it can be recycled.
Okay, can you name any number?
Sorry, sir.
Can you name any number that you have seen? If it is written 1, what does it mean?
Sir, again, I am not exactly aware that what does it mean. With your permission, I am estimating that it means that it can be recycled one time, but I think I should look more on this.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Abhinav,
Yes, sir.
each term post office is defined anywhere.
Sir, recently Post Office Act 2023 was enacted, and in that certain definitions were made clear, including post office as well.
Can you explain what are the ingredients in that definition?
Sir, I'm not aware of the verbatim language, but if you would allow me, I can take an estimated guess.
Okay, please.
Sir, it was some of the language which I can recall from the act. It was mentioned that any house or any area, any structure from which mails are either being delivered or collected to can be referred as post office. But I think I should read more on this.
Their structure is required.
Sir, I should read more on this.
Each postal stamp is a postal office.
Sir, I'm not aware whether technically it should be there or not, but I think it should be there.
Which law is earlier before this law?
So before this, 1898 Act was primarily the main law under which all the proceedings were done.
That law is repealed.
Yes, sir.
So why that law repealed?
Sir, there are certain reasons for it. First of all, the larger goal of decolonization, which we have seen in the Panch Pran. Then second is earlier the law had 77 sections. Now it has been simplified to 16 sections. So overall, making it easier under the aim of Jan Vishwas Bill. Then third would be to acknowledge the evolving role of postal services. For example, in earlier act, the digital postal stamps were not included. So now in the new act, it has been included. Also, the monopoly of the earlier the private players were not strictly regulated, and there was monopoly of the Indian Postal Department over the sending and receiving of letters. So now this has also been corrected. So I think these should be the reasons for which the new act has been drawn.
Are you satisfied that these are the reason and the parliament or legislature should make new laws? To make new laws that it is a colonial laws. Is there any provision that they bring power to detain the goods? Is there not any consolidation of the offences?
Sir, I am aware of the provisions of the new act, but if there was any specific reason for which the earlier act was repealed, I am not aware of. If you want me, then I can elaborate on the new provisions.
No, now there is a power that officer can detain the goods.
Yes, sir.
Regarding penalties also, there are certain immunities and certain uniformity.
Yes, sir.
Anyhow, can you name which day is celebrated as a postal day? International Postal Day.
Sorry, sir. I'm not aware of it.
Is there any union at the international level?
Yes, sir. There is UPU, United Postals Union.
Can you explain something or say something about its origin, headquarter? Is it a organ of UN?
Sir, its headquarters is in Bern, Switzerland, and it has multiple organizations within it. It has a congress, it has a counseling chamber,
Just
Then there are.
the organ of UNO.
So I'm not sure about it. I think I should read on it.
You just said that your interest in climate change, or you
Uh,
are connected with climate change.
Sir, I wrote a story which was regarding climate change.
When Environment Day is celebrated,
Sir, 5th of June, I think it is celebrated.
what is the reason that 5th June is celebrated as?
I'm not able to recall the reason, but I think there was some treaty which was signed.
Any
Sorry,
guess?
sir?
Any guess?
I guess it was related to UNFCCC, but I think I need to read on this.
Then can you, is environment term is defined in any law made by Indian Parliament?
Sir, I'm not aware of any such law, but I think under Environment Protection Act 1986, it should be defined, but I should read more on this.
Yes, it is defined in that. So how it is defined in that act? What are the essentials, ingredients?
Sir, I'm not aware of the technical knowledge of the act.
Then there is a Panchamrit, 5 nectar.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain what are the Panchamrit from the Indian side at the international forum?
Yes, sir. So these are the 5 goals, 5 international commitments which India has made. The first is to get carbon neutral by 2070. Then second is to make sure that 50% of our total energy installed capacity is from renewable. Then reduce 1 billion ton of carbon. Then fourth is the energy intensity should be reduced to 45%. And there was one more which I'm not able to recall right now.
Okay, so what is the period within which they will start India implementing or achieving?
Sir, the first was to become overall neutral by 2070. Rest all 4 have the deadline of 2030. So,
Okay, now where these Panchamrit are in which conference, where it is held?
sir, it was in some COP of UNFCCC, and if I can recall it correctly, then it was in COP 28.
28.
Yes, sir.
What is COP?
The Conference of Parties.
From which year the conferences started?
Sir, I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's 1997.
1997. And this year, which conference held?
Sir, it was COP 29 in Baku.
Okay, yes, Baku. So that is 26th. It is 29th. But can you name the place that is highest village where post office services are provided in India?
Sir, there's a place called Hikkim. There's a post office which is highest in the entire world.
What are the challenges faced by that post office?
So I'm not aware if there are any specific challenges, but based on my limited awareness, I can try to answer this if you would allow me.
Thank you. No.